Yellow duckies, and welcome back to Queen's Wish the Conqueror. Now, I know you're probably wondering how I ended up back in Fort Haven. Apparently, I had a little bit of an issue with my recording last time. It cut out when I was in Castle Andesite and cut short. Um, I didn't realize that I wasn't still recording. And so we did lose a little bit. But to catch you up, honestly, not a whole lot happened. I ended up dying. I talked to the the other princess, the my character's older sister. Um, and I think I handled some Owen situation that was over here. And that was about it. And I did my outro and I went out of the game. It wasn't until I was editing later that I realized, oh, that got cut off, and I don't have a backup save for everything I do, especially right now, because I mean, there's it would take up a lot more space, and I don't want to take up more space on Captain Zenix's PC than I need to for my recordings right now. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So we have all our quests still. Um, hmm, okay. I need to go back to the fort that we have in the other town. Let's quick travel to Fort West Bay. And then afterwards we'll go right back to Castle Andesite and keep going where we were there. It's going to mean that all the enemies are reset, everything's reset, but there's just that it's an unpredictable situation sometimes. Working with computers, you can't always say, yes, this is definitely going to go right. So yeah. Stronger. Use more stone. A blasted pit, let's go. There's signs of monster activity. There's this quarry. Due south of here. Really, you really call it the blasted pit? Havenites are not a poetic people. I understand the place is a volcanic fumarole. The name fits. Are we entitled to the stone? Albanen's records say it was bought from Thabelin before the calamity. It is still ours by terms of our treaty. What should I do when I'm there? Just clear out the monsters. Queen Sharon told me you were given considerable power and wanted to practice them in the pits. Like that one. I would not deny you the opportunity. Okay. So we have that now. Okay, so that's now that we know about that, and we know about the blasted pits. I thought we could get the other one, that was over here, but I guess we can't. Oh, it's way down there. Okay, by the flint pit, which we still need to deal with. But down farther is Castle Andesite, where we want to go right now. Alright. So yes, basically what had happened, we went in here. I probably accidentally hit my hotkey for my recording to stop. So as you can see, I have quite a lot of it uncovered, but I'm going to have to go back in and deal with enemies and such. The door's locked. Also, as you guys probably have been made aware, we have the new YouTube rules happening right now. So you guys can no longer really comment, as these videos are marked for kids. But I still appreciate the views. I still am going to be continuing this. It's still going to be labeled as for kids because honestly, it is a slightly safer game than a lot of other things. I know some of the elements still have a bit of higher aged themes to them, but honestly, story-wise, it is a very, very very set game as far as what you're doing, how you're doing things, your choices, and how you make them really decides which way you're going. And as you guys have seen, I am attempting to make better choices of things. So that we're handling things properly rather than causing more trouble. Let's do the AoE. Take out a few there. Hazard. Okay, there we go. Right. I should have really done AoE, but it's okay. I believe what we were on when the little recording hiccup happened was we were in this main room with the bandits. So yeah, there's that. So let's go ahead and get in onto that, unless the bandits aren't showing up. No, just zombies. Okay. Interesting. Let's wait. Let them come to us. I also want to note that as far as people who are viewing this, who are listed as adults and all, I actually don't know, like, if the restriction still counts for you guys as far as if the comments are turned off. I am not aware. I haven't really done a whole lot of research into the new changes. I know I should have, considering I have a channel and everything, but I just really haven't. I haven't been focusing on it, honestly. I've been over here in England. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm not fully focused on the channel, but my main concern while I'm over here is just spending time with Captain Zanuck and having that time together, because we won't get it a lot. We're actually planning our next move as far as what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be up to, and trying to manage is both of us getting jobs so that we can both save up towards a proper wedding. So it means that, you know, we're probably not going to get a whole lot of time together over the next while until we're able to save up enough to have our wedding. But we're going to be doing our best either way. It just means, though, that was it this room over there? It's just not. I guess they're just gone. Um, so yeah, that's going on. Um, oh, yes. For those of us that are more adult and looking into the more adult videos, um, I will say that I believe this coming Monday is the last episode. Maybe it might be this Monday, or it might be um, next the Monday after. But one of those two is going to be the last episode that I currently have recorded of Outer Worlds. And unfortunately, I don't have access to my save from that while I'm over here, so I really can't continue that until I get back to the US, and that will be around the end of February. So it will come back, but it's most likely going to come back at the end of February, and it also may only come back one day a week, depending on how Captain Zanuck and I decide to work with our We Built a Zoo series, which we have been getting quite a lot of inspiration for with what we've been doing over here. Um, we actually just got back from a visit to Chester Zoo, which is the site of where the documentary series The Secret Life of the Zoo is recorded. So that was pretty exciting. It was very, very nice zoo. One side was a little bit more of a odd setup than the other, which tends to happen. You know, the older zoos, it just kind of is something that happens with time. Things get a little bit more accurately built and properly managed when you have a little bit more planning. But initially, you know, a lot of things start out just getting the land that they get and dealing with that. And Chester Zoo is, I believe, the most. I'm not sure if it's the biggest. I believe it may be the biggest. It's the most popular zoo in England. And it's in Chester, of course, which is right on the edge of England and Wales, where the two meet. And honestly, it is a very well made zoo. It's a very well balanced. They have so many different species that they're working with. Unfortunately, currently they are also recovering from a fairly bad fire still. They have rebuilt the area that the fire happened in, but they're still redesigning and they're still reworking, and they have to, of course, make up for what they lost in the fire itself, because unfortunately they did end up losing quite a few different species, just because smoke inhalation and that all that unfortunate stuff. So yeah, I mean, you know, wasn't exactly how it should have been, but it had a lot going for it. And honestly, I also want to say, as far as zoos go, I actually feel it's one of the most affordable zoos. I get that a lot of zoos, the costs of extra things like food and that sort of stuff is based on the fact that they have to cover overhead of their land and taxes and all that sort of stuff. I get that. Um, but honestly, it very much was the most affordable zoo that Captain Zanuck and I have been to since we've been together. We were able to get quite a few different souvenirs to bring back with us, and we're very happy about that. Um, Purple slimes? Interesting. Let's see if we can slow these guys. Slow resisted. Happens. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to give you guys that update that, yes, Outer Worlds is going to be, off until after, after, in, off until, like, late February, and, let's see. I'm probably going to be doing a playthrough of Prey in its place. I'm not quite sure because I'm not sure if Captain Zanuck's PC can handle the details of it and the quality of it. So we'll have to see about that. But for the most part, I feel like it most likely will work. So that's going to be Mondays and Fridays. Thankfully, because the version of Alan Wake that I have is in on the Epic Games app, I was able to recover my cloud save easily, and I'm able to record that because I believe I'm running low on those too. I was running low on time wise. Let's see. There's a scattering of bones on the floor in this hidden room. The air reeks of rot. It looks like 2 people were murdered here. You can't see any signs of who they were. However, the remaining scraps of their clothes are velvet and silk. Uh-oh. They must have been wealthy. An intriguing mystery, but one that must be solved by someone else. Oh boy, I think we just found the remains of the Lord and Lady of Castle Andesite. Okay. This is surprising. In the deepest room of this dank basement, you find a planning room. You find notes, ledgers, maps, a table and chairs where plans could be discussed. The room has been abandoned for years. The papers are all rotting and moldy, and the writing on them is in code. You can't make sense of any of it. Is this where they plan the rebellion? Mental resistance. That's not bad. A wool shield. Speed penalty issue, but it's better than what I have. I hate doing that. I hate the speed penalty, but if it needs to be, it needs to be. This box was sealed properly. The moisture couldn't get in. There are several pens and sheets of paper inside. The papers are blank. You also find a package wrapped in wax paper. It has a D written on one corner, as Dorothy described. You take the package. These papers probably contain useful intelligence about the Owen Rebellion. You suspect that Dorothy Lee isn't the only person who would pay for them. Yes, but I'm the good guy. Alright, so that's that room. Hello. More pudding! I'm always up for more pudding. even though I shouldn't be.